Hello and welcome to my Flosstube. This is my first Flosstube. My name is Matt. My pronouns are he, him. I've been stitching since my mom taught me at 5 years old. I picked it back up again in high school and then picked it back up again after I got out of college, where I really started to progress with it. So I thought the fun thing would be I found one of the first projects I chose for myself in high school, which was this tiger pattern by Alita Designs. As you can see, I got a fair amount of the ear started before I stopped. But the problem is, this is what the back looked like. I clearly was not as good back then. I really was thinking about picking this back up and trying to finish it, but the problem is that is what I did to the pattern. So I don't know what all of those stitches were, and there's some issues on the front that I don't know if I can fix. If I can get them fixed into the back, I might try and just continue on and keep going. If I can't, then I may try and see if I can't figure out what the stitches are so I can restart it. So I'm gonna go over my plans for today. So my plans are, I will go over my latest finish, my whips, which stands for works in progress, and then my plans for stitching in the future. So to start with, my finish was, I just finished it 2 days ago on Thursday. It was the 2020 Harry Potter Stitch Your Own Adventure by Stuart Cunningham. This one took me 5 years and 8 months to complete because I kept putting it down. This one was really fun to stitch because it was over the course of the year. So you started with the Hogwarts Express and Hogwarts in the frame, and then the letters along the bottom, and then you went to over by the years. And so you start with you're being sorted into houses. So I got Ravenclaw, and then it went to the Quidditch, where I got a Seeker. But the design he had for the snitch was really big, and so that one just didn't speak to me. So I subbed that out for my own little hand-drawn Quidditch cup. Then we went to your classroom, where I chose ancient runes, and so my runes spell out "Go Fluffy Go." Then we went to Hogsmeade, but all of the ones that he had for Hogsmeade again didn't speak to me, so I did my own self-drafted pattern of the Shrieking Shack. Then you went up to year 5 with an adventure with Professor Slughorn in the potions classroom with Emma and Tentia. And then lastly, you were your Patronus, where I drafted my own elephant for my Patronus. So I am really glad to have that one finished. This is on a 14 count Ada that I handed myself. So I am looking forward to getting that one fully finished and up on the wall. It will be the first piece of cross stitch that I have kept for myself rather than giving away as a gift. So now to move on to my whips, I'm going to start at my oldest whip and move my way to my newest whip. So my oldest whip was the Animal Crossing Stitch Along by Stuart Cunningham. I'll throw up a picture of what it will look like when it's finished. I started this on November 15th of 2020 on 14 count Blue Ada. it was on it has a lot of drop-in elements, so I didn't have it in Pattern Keeper, so I don't have a progress, but I was still on the frame, and so that is where I am at the moment. My next whip was one that I decided to do for my friend's wedding. It is a self-drafted pattern that I did, so I don't have what it will look like at the end. But this is, I started this on July 23rd of 2021 on white 14 count Aida, and here is what I have. Got started on a little witch. My next one is Living Room Set Number 2 by Alina Lartsova, which I started on April 16th of 2023. This one I started on Black Aida because I had it in stash and I really wanted to work on something with Black Aida, and then quickly realized why people don't work on Black Aida like that. And so now I'm kind of a little frustrated that this one has taken so long, mainly because it's on Black Aida, and so it's a little harder to stitch. But here is what I have. It is 51.7% complete, which is 12,730 stitches of the 24,627. My next whip is the 2024 Stitch Your Own Adventure Wanderings in Middle Earth by Stuart Cunningham. Again, it has a lot of drop-in, you choose your own elements, so I don't have a picture of what it will look like when it's finished. But I did start it on November 15th, 2023. It's on 14 count Aida that I hand dyed. I chose a gray modeling effect that I kind of wanted to look like the beginning of the Lord of the Rings when the Galadriel's voiceover is going with the clouds of smoke. So currently right now I'm still on the frame, but I do have my little tree completed and I'm moving on to the Hobbit hole. Again, this one has been sitting abandoned for a while. My next one is the Chase. This is the Heaven and Earth Designs by Matt Stewart. I started this on May 24th of 2024. It is on 18 count Aida in antique white that I purchased at Acorns and Threads. And I started it and only am just a little ways in up there in the top right corner. But that one is at 0% complete with 107 stitches of 247,600 total. So I got a ways to go on that one. My next one is Magic Book, which I bought from Etsy from SacredThreadDesign. I started this one on July 2nd of 2024 on 14 count white Aida. It is at 0.2% complete with a tiny start of 282 stitches of the 124,573 stitches. And that's what I've got. Just a little bit of the smoke in the top right corner. The next one that I started, I don't have a picture because it was a stitch long. It was called Threads of Deceit by Stitchingly. I started this on November 30th of 2024 on 14 count Aida. So I completed the entire first section, which I switched out with my own colors from stash, and then I got started on the second section before I put it down. The next one is Steampunk Portal, which was my choice of start for the 2025 Heaven and Earth Design Stitch Along. This is what it looks like. It was only able to be purchased at the moment through the Stitch Along. It is charted by Michelle Saeta, and the artwork is by NL Designs. I'm at 0.5% complete of the first installment, not of the entire thing. And there's my tiny little start that I got. This one is on 18 count Ada. I don't know the color. And then that leads me to my newest start. This one I started because I joined a round robin being hosted by Jason Cross Stitches here on YouTube for his Stitching Connection. So in my group there's 4 people. This was my choice, so we all decided that we were going to do a 3-month long rotation before we shipped it off to the next person. So we decided to give ourselves around 5,000 to 6,000 stitches per person. So I chose this one, which is the Crafty Dragon by Stuart Cunningham. It was his free pattern for reaching 1,000 subscribers on his Facebook page. So I chose it because it's small enough that each of us can do our own dragon. So I'll end up at the end with 4 different dragons, each in everybody's chosen colors. And so that is where I've gotten to so far. I started this on August 1st of 2025. It is on 16 count blue Ada. It is at 17.9% complete with 902 stitches of 5,027 total, which is all of my active whips at the moment. So that leads me to plans. So in the future I will be working on the Crafty Dragon. I have to do 60 stitches a day to have it completed in time to ship out, after which point I will receive the next person's and then be working on theirs. So that will be my main focus, and then after that point, hold on 1 second, let me grab my phone. After that point, once I've done my 60 stitches a day, then I can move on to a different project. So I have decided that since I'm mainly a monogamous stitcher, but then a whole lot of stitching burns me out, that I will spin on the wheel, and whichever one I get, I will do 1,000 stitches on that, and then put that down and move on to the next one. And then once I've done all of my active projects, I will then reset the wheel and start over again. I also include 5 projects that I really want to start, so if it gets called for those, then I will just go ahead and start those and work on those once I've done my 60 stitches for Crafty Dragon. So I will go ahead and spin here with you guys. So, and that is not going to show up. There we go. Alright. Alright, and it looks like Dragon's Lair has been called. So I will start that one. And that one is Dragon's Lair, which is a retired Heaven and Earth Designs by Matt Stawicki. That I already have the pattern for, and I believe I have fabric that is big enough for it. I will just have to double check that before I start. So I will be uploading videos once a month with my progress for the month, so I hope you will come back and see where I get to at the end of August. And until then, happy stitching.